We want to turn to the continent of Africa, and we're going to talk to a few people tonight. And we are very honored to be joined here by Sizophila Mkhize, who is the national spokesperson for the ANC Youth League, African National Congress Youth League in South Africa. Sizophila, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me tonight, and greetings to your viewers. Well, I know it's afternoon that side.
No, it's all good. I really appreciate you being with us, even though it's late in the evening. And, really glad to have you on. Obviously a few weeks back when you all put out your statement when the conflict first started, caught my eye, caught a lot of people's eyes, because you were emphasizing some of the themes that have basically been said to be verboten here in the United States, the role of NATO, the lack of implementation of Minsk II. So I just wonder, from your perspective and from the perspective of your organization, what level of I guess blame should we put on institutions like NATO in setting the stage for this conflict in the first place?
Well, as countries from Africa, one thing that I need to say is that we hate wars because we know what wars have done to our own countries. But we cannot, and we are happy from where we stand to see President Putin of Russia really standing up to people that have bullied the world for years. Here in Africa, we've had our losses as well, where our own countries were invaded, led by the Western countries, led by NATO itself. And we did not see or hear anyone say, pray for Libya, for instance. But then where we are, we see a president who is protecting his people, also protecting everything that is in his country, because there was an agreement that they're not going to move, not even an inch, towards the borders of Russia. And they are the ones that did not meet what was the agreement. They are the ones that broke the agreement. They are the ones that did not live up to the agreements that were there. Now, Putin, all that he is doing is to protect his backyard. I do not think that even if it's not politics, even if we to take it to our daily lives, there is no father of a house that can allow enemies of his to come closer to his family, because those enemies, when they come closer to the family, they can do anything. From where we stand, the people that are to be blamed, they could have avoided this war, like the president of South Africa have said. This could have been avoided, but they are arrogant, they're self-serving, and they're selfish, and they do not care about the many of the lives that are going to be lost. And from where our understanding is that Russia is had no intentions of attacking civilians, but you have a stupid president of a country who uses his own civilians to fight against the Russian troops, when Russian troops are not targeting civilians, but are targeting your military points. Now, that I really believe that from where we are, we're here, and we're brought here by the bullies. I don't think that they had thought that President Putin is going to have the guts to man up and to stand up against them. They did not see this one coming. You can hear from the way they are now pulling off a bit from their support they're trying to give Ukraine, but also you can tell from how they run their propaganda. Here in South Africa, I can tell you, we are not able to watch RT anymore. Russian Today is not here. We're not able to watch it anymore since this conflict between Russia and Ukraine started. Now they are trying to drive the narrative that Russians or President Putin are the worst people to have lived in the world. And we all know the worst people to have lived in the world are the people that have bullied the world, are the people that are very greedy, are the people that have came here in Africa and initiated wars in Africa so that they can get the minerals beneath our soil here in Africa. Those are the people that have got the world on its knees for a very long time. We're very happy that this time around, someone at least is standing up to these bullies.
I have to say, I think the point of view that you're giving is a common one in a lot of the global South. But I think a lot of our viewers in America and Europe are probably like, they don't hear this point of view really anywhere in their media or from anyone for that matter, despite the fact that we keep hearing the international community has condemned Russia, is isolating Russia. Can you give us an idea of how common your point of view is across South Africa from what you can tell? Is this what you're hearing from politicians on a regular basis and from the leadership in the country? And how about people on the street?
The views that have been presented by our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is actually the views of the citizens of South Africa, because we have been friends with Russia for a very long time. During our bad times, during our struggle days as the country, where we were oppressed, and the people that we could run to for help, for training of our comrades who were fighting against apartheid, it has to be Russia that came in our rescue and was able to assist and train comrades. But Russia has also been able to assist in many ways. It fought side by side with us to gain our freedom. So people recognize Russia as a country that, and Russians as people that are not warmongers, people that are not looking to spill blood for the sake of it. But if it is necessary for Russia to protect its territory, to protect itself, its people, its wealth, then President Putin was pushed to do what he is currently doing.
Well, and let me just ask you this one quick thing here. The issue of the African students being trapped in Ukraine, the double standards that we've seen in terms of immigration. I mean, I'm just curious your thoughts on that, because it just seemed like the exact opposite of what we see from Europe when the issue of immigration from Africa is brought up in any other context.
Look, one thing that we have also realized, and one thing that has been brought to our attention, is the racism in which the students and general Black people from South Africa were trapped in Ukraine, how they've been treated. I mean, other civilians who are from Ukraine by origin are given preference as it relates to them getting a safer places during this war. Generally, there are racial preferences on who gets safe first and who is a last option to be taken to safer places. We've seen that happening, but also we have seen how, because we have student organizations in South Africa, student organizations that have been in communications with those that are trapped in Ukraine, and we're still trying to make sure that they are brought back safe to the country. But part of the biggest obstacles has really been this racism thing. We can't even get to our own people ourselves. Because they are not the priority of the Ukrainians.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sizophila, really appreciate you being willing to join us, especially since I know it's a little late on your end. Fantastic to be able to get your voice on this and that of the ANC Youth League. Thanks again for giving us some time here on the Freedom Side.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a good afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.